Thank you so much for joining us. It really means a lot. All right, let me bring in Sumit Peer into this conversation as well at this point in time. But before that, the first conspiracy theory is that the crash coincides with PM Modi's visit to Canada for the G7 summit. Gurpad Vant Pannu and the Khalistanis have issued repeated threats to Air India in the past as well, and they're viral on social media. These elements have earlier blown up the Kanishka aircraft Air India Flight 182. Although the videos show no evidence of any blast, this is still a conspiracy theory. Sumit, we know what Pannu has been saying. We know he specifically mentioned Air India. He's not mentioned any Indian aircraft. Do you think that this could be a remote possibility that this particular terrorist, I'm going to call him terrorist, and I will urge everyone to call him a terrorist as well, has possibly done some conspiracy or had some sort of an influence and made this happen? Your thoughts?
Vinny, thank you for having me on your show. It's a very tragic event, and my heartfelt condolences to all. Om Shanti. Coming to your question in particular, Vinny, if I can be very candid and direct, there are a couple of reasons which I have in mind. I'm going to discuss them with you. Because today, I'm not an aviation expert, I cannot, but what I can definitely tell, we cannot rule out sabotage as a possibility. That, as an Indian, as a patriotic Indian, I'll stretch my neck out and say we cannot rule out sabotage. Why? What are the reasons? First reason, the plane comes from Delhi, lands in Ahmedabad, is in perfect condition, no problems. Secondly, when it takes off from Ahmedabad, something very strange happens. Look, when the plane takes off, they say it's a mayday. When the ATC starts to reach them, immediately the next second, there is nothing. The plane crashes precisely after a minute or 1.5 minutes after that. It starts rolling high, starts drifting to the left, and it crashes. The landing gear of the plane is open. Why does it happen? Today we are talking of a communications blackout, a complete electronics shut, which is caused by a spike or which is caused by some electromagnetic flux even, which can completely kill all the systems at one go. So usually electromagnetic flux is capable of doing that. Third thing is that, there's a possibility of a bird hit, which is a remote possibility, but we can't rule that out. Fourth thing is there's a Turkish company which is doing the maintenance of the aircrafts. So we are knowing our problems with the Turkey, knowing how we have dismantled their tech, which Erdogan used to call as the Islami tech. Now that Islami tech starts dismantled, so there are reasons of coming back. Fifth reason is that, when it landed from Delhi to Ahmedabad, it was fine. What happened in Ahmedabad? How did it become a sting duck in a way? How did it crash? And why didn't the pilots respond back? One more angle to it is that, if you look at it from a Pakistani perspective, I'll take you to 1965. In 1965, Pakistanis sent Ghazi and 8 ships to attack, where? Gujarat. Where in Gujarat? Dwarka. They wanted to dismantle all the Air Force radars and wanted to send a message. They had Ghazi waiting, thinking that Indian Air Force will not retaliate, Indian Navy will come after them and the Ghazi will hunt them out. But Indian Navy did not follow the bait. And though they attacked Somnath, they attacked Dwarka. And why Dwarka was chosen? Dwarka was chosen because Dwarka is the place where Somnath ji is. And they wanted to settle a score. Because what Muhammad Ghazni could not do 17 times, they wanted to come and do it even in independent India. That's why they chose Dwarka. A lot of their ships came in. They bombarded the places. Some of our radars got destroyed, but a lot of their ammunition did not go off. It is documented history. Then in 71, we launched Python, and I forget the name of the other operation where we dismantled or their Never Armada in Karachi, and we burned down complete Karachi as a response to that. So from 65, they have this problem with Gujarat. They have this problem to settle the score with Gujarat. And where does Prime Minister Modi come from? Where does Amit Shah come from? Gujarat. So, कहते हैं ना घर में घुस के मारना है. So if you look at it, there's a possibility that is why Gujarat or Ahmedabad could have been chosen. Second thing, look at 9/11. Which planes were chosen? The planes which are going from East Coast to West Coast. Again, a long range flight. 53,000 liters of fuel, completely full. Point number 4. There were a lot of foreigners in it. 1/3 of your passengers were foreigners. More foreigners, more international impact, more news value. Right? So they didn't choose a domestic flight, they chose an international flight because of the fuel, because of a lot of foreigners in it. So if you kind of add all these things up, and if you look at the mentality of Pakistan, if you look at how Turkey is hurt, how Pakistan is hurt, they will try to come back to us in some way or the other after the humiliation they've got in Operation Sindoor. And let me take you to another aspect. We need your sister publication, Sunday Guardian. Before Pahalgam attack, they said that after 9 days there was an attack which is possible to happen. People ignored it. There was another article in your sister publication, Sunday Guardian, by Tehreek-e-Taliban spokesperson. He said 2 attacks will happen in India after Sindoor. One, a mass transport will be targeted. What is this? This is a mass transport. Second, a possible skirmish which will be orchestrated by ISI with India and China, and that can flare up India and China tensions at LAC. That is yet to happen. Remember, Afghan forces caught an Afghani with a fake passport, which was to be used in this incident. And over and above that, 9th June, 3 दिन पहले 9th June 2025, ex rogue and ex CIA operative Sarah Adams tweets, the worst attack on India is yet to come from Afghanistan, and then she writes all the 4-letter words and all. Go and do whatever you want to do that, and F you whatever, the 4-letter word yourself. There's a tweet of Sarah Adams warning this. Now join the dots. What the Tehreek-e-Taliban spokesperson claimed, what your Sunday Guardian said was already published, your sister publication. Now what Sarah Adams has tweeted on 9th of June, warning of this kind of attack. And then we have Gunman Pannu, who's again warning of this. Pakistan has a score to settle. Turkey has a score to settle, and it is Gujarat. It is Prime Minister Modi's home turf, and unfortunately, the maximum people whom we have lost are Gujaratis. So, if you add everything together, what the experts were saying, the aviation experts, is the effect. But if you look at the cause of the things, go back and look at the cause. What you see is the effect, raw stock power and all. But there is something called ACARS. ACARS is a system within the aircraft which you can even remotely use to shut the engines. There are options in ACRS where the engines can be even shut remotely. So there are what look to us is the effect. Yeah, losing power, thrust, drifting, and gone. But what caused it? What could have been the possible reasons which caused it? I have put around 11, 12 reasons in a very sequential, logical manner for your consideration and for the consideration of viewers, and especially this tweet of Sarah Adams, your sister publication's article, then Pannu, then Turkey, then Asif Munir, then they're getting Islamic tech getting shattered, Turkish company in the business of maintaining aircrafts. So we can't rule out this. I'm not saying this happened, Vineet, but when I look at these 12 points and what happened in 65, what happened in 71, even in 65, there was a Anka Kata tha Somnath temple. They wanted to
hold on to that thought. We have to keep a track on time as well. Well, the passenger who flew on the same Air India aircraft just 2 hours before it crashed near Ahmedabad airport